Yeah, so we're here today to talk about Eraserhead. I went ahead and hit the record button.
Oh,
Um,
hello, everybody.
I liked your read on the movie. I really did. I feel like you really got to the core of it.
Hmm.
So what do you think Eraserhead's about?
Um. So, Eraserhead to me, starting with like the plot of the film itself. So, the plot to me is basically Pete Martell. Pete Martell before Twin Peaks. Oh God, what is the name of the main character in Eraserhead?
Henry.
I always forget Henry. Yeah, Henry. Okay. So yeah, Henry's basically recently had sex with this lady that he just met,
Mm-hmm.
called Mary. Um, he sort of returns. I think it's based in Philadelphia, and I think it's based in Philadelphia because David Lynch lived there for a while, and he said the place was terrifying. So
Yes.
I have a feeling that's what happened. So he returns to Philadelphia, finds out that Mary has had a child, and the child is horrendously deformed. He's sort of strong-armed by her and her parents into helping bring up the child. And at first, he's horrified by the whole thing. I mean, anybody would be.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh,
is
absolutely.
and he kind of reluctantly gets into it. But then Mary just goes like, you know what? I can't stand this anymore
Mm-hmm.
because the deformed child is just going. It's literally being a psychic Pebbles character at like the middle, like just breathing like Zach Hadel.
Yes,
Every
yes.
night she just goes, I can't stand it, and then she
I
just.
wanna. I also
Oh, I
wanna.
love that scene where she can't get the fucking suitcase out,
And
and
he's
they're
just
just
staring
orbiting.
at her. Yeah. Can we
Yeah.
talk about the deformed child for a second? Because
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen actual premature. I've seen premature fetuses before. That is not what they look like.
No.
That thing
No. No.
is alien in design. It's a real
It's a
corpse.
worm creature.
It's a combination of puppeteering and a real corpse of something. Similar to
Yeah.
the robins at the end of Blue Velvet, where they literally use the
Mm-mm.
corpse of a robin.
They puppet that thing perfectly in the film. Like,
It is
so
it is a marvel
fucking
of special
unsettling.
effects. I just wanted to talk a bit about that, but yeah, that thing is alien. It's so strange looking. Because like I don't know if you want to get an example of what a real premature fetus looks like, play PT. Like that is a
Yeah,
like from a medical book. That is accurate as hell. But yeah,
it is like something from like some Japanese horror game.
it is. It is. Probably because David Lynch is hugely influential in Japan. So.
Yeah, that's probably where they got the idea from. Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So she leaves. He ends up stuck with the child. He tries, but it ruins basically his life. He wants to go out. He wants to have fun. He can't. He has to look after this premature monster creature, this Zach Hadel monstrosity.
Yes.
And eventually he can't take it anymore. He wants to have an affair with the lady next door. He starts dreaming about having an affair with her. Eventually he realizes he can't have that. He then eventually just snaps. And although it shows him like killing the child, I think basically at that point that's when he ends it. He kills himself. Can't
Okay.
deal with the stress. He can't deal with the lifestyle of being a parent,
Uh-huh.
and he ends it. He goes to heaven, and the lady in the radiator sings, "In heaven, everything's all right."
fine. Yep. In heaven. Okay. Similar to Twin Peaks, I agree with most of that.
It's about parenthood.
It is about
And
100%, 100% about parenthood.
reluctantly becoming a parent, and the stresses and the anxiety of being a parent. Like, you know, I'm sure every parent, when you know their partner is having a child, goes like, oh god, what if it turns out deformed? What if it has like special needs? What if I got to deal with like all this stuff that I'm not prepared for? Or, you know, they go like, am I actually ready to be a parent? It's you have like like a midlife crisis about it.
Absolutely. Being a parent requires a complete and utter surrender of self. You have to just give up on everything you have been building up in your life up to this point and start working on another person exclusively. Like that kid becomes your whole life. It's almost like Well, I mean, we'll get into the parasite metaphor as we go in, but yeah, it's something you really have to dedicate to. The more selfish you are as a parent, the worse parent you are.
Yes.
You really have to give everything to your child, and that is a hard thing to deal with. I remember messaging you. I'm trying to think of what I actually messaged you about Eraserhead, because I was just filled with excitement. I loved it so much. Here it is. Fascinating. I watched Eraserhead, liked it. Fascinating world. Local man tries his best to be a father, but he hates himself. The world is dying, and God is doing his best, but he can only do so much. This felt... This is like probably like blasphemy. This feels like part of Twin Peaks. Like, it feels like it's a similar world, if not the same world. I don't think it is the same world. I don't think David Lynch does that. But it's that same Blue Velvet thing where I'm just like, it feels like the other half, you know? Like, Blue Velvet is very much like the detective noir part of Twin Peaks, and Eraserhead is so much of like the supernatural shit that I loved. So my read on Eraserhead, the opening scene is a sex scene. It is the insemination of Mary and the birth of this child. When the child's born, we see this gnarled, decayed, decrepit-looking man struggling to pull this lever. I think that Eraserhead is a Messiah story. I think the kid... I don't think he's Jesus Christ, I'm not going to say that. But the kid, the baby is some sort of redemption for this fucked up, decayed world. The world is so screwed. The examples I give is one, we don't see any vegetation growing whatsoever except for in Henry's room, and he has this little tree on his side table. It's not even, like, I can't even call it a tree. It looks like he stuck a twig in some dirt. But like, Henry is somebody who is desperate to cultivate life. He's trying so hard to grow something. That's all he really does. That's the only thing we see him doing outside of sleeping, eating, and taking care of the kid. He has that little gnarled tree on his bedside table, but he has no idea how to take care of it and doesn't know what he's doing. And then he keeps feeding something that's living in his wall. He doesn't know what it is, but he's taking care of it. Whatever's in his wall is trying to stay alive, right? And he's trying to cultivate life. And the whole world is in this, like, desperate state. Like, I love the whole scene where he's visiting the family. It is so horrific.
Oh, so good. I love the dad so much.
Every single member of the family...
What'd you do, Henry? It just smiles at him uncomfortably. What'd you know?
The daughter is, like, on the verge of a panic attack at all times. Mary is just not doing well. She's barely keeping it together. Her mom is trying to be this super strict conservative mother, but she is just brimming with sexual tension and, like, wants to fuck everything that moves. She has, like, her husband is very impotent. Like, in his behavior completely. He is the image of a failed man. His hand doesn't work properly. He's cooking for the family, which might be symbolic of his role in the house. He doesn't even trust himself to cut into the chickens? ? Because...
And he hands the job straight over to Henry as soon as he turns. He's like, "You're the man now."
You're the man now. I can't do anything. I am an impotent visage of a man trying to keep it together. Him getting angrier and angrier that no one cares for the hard work he did about the pipes and everything. And his wife's like, "Now, dear, now. Don't start ranting about the pipes again." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got these new chickens. They're made by, like, these something like they were made by humans or something like that." Like, are chickens extinct in this world? Because that was my thought of, like, oh, like, because he's talking about it with the excitement, like, "Yo, chicken's back, man! Like, we can eat chicken again." It's weird fake mini chickens that are Cornish hens that seem to bleed cum, but you can eat them. And then, like, the mom goes to take Henry aside and tell him, we think, but then she just immediately starts to try making out with him and starts, like, feeling him up and stuff.
Yeah.
like every single person in that house is a failure of humanity except for Henry. Like every
And
single
all stuck in a position that they don't want to be in, and I think that's like an overwhelming what's the word? Like an overwhelming subject in the film. It's just like everybody doesn't want to be where they are, and they're stuck in a position that they don't want to be in.
Right, absolutely. The dad's creepy ass smile, I love that scene, and then the daughter's crying. He's trying to put on a show for this guy, trying to appeal to another man. And then, he gets the kid. Just kind of gets saddled with it. We don't see them go to the hospital or anything. The kid just kind of shows up. They don't even put it in a bed. And you get this feeling that, like, the natural love and caringness that people are supposed to have for living things has just been lost. Like, the art of caring has been, like, it's a lost art in this world. Henry has the twig growing out of a pile of dirt because he doesn't know that motherfucker needs a pot. He doesn't know that he needs to put that thing in a pot and water it for it to grow, but he's trying his best. Same thing goes for whatever's living in his wall or his clock. And then the child, they just lay it out on top of the dresser. That kid's gonna have a flat head. That's what Vea said when we were watching it. That fucking kid
is not wrong.
No, yeah, that kid is not... Like, even if he survived, his head would flatten against the back of it. Like, they're not taking good care of it. And I don't think it's because of cruelty. I just don't think they know how. No one taught them. Their parents were messes. Like, hell, even the mom, we see her kill her own mom on screen. Like with the cigarette. She's sitting there and she just keeps giving her smokes. This lady probably has like lung cancer or some sort of lung disease, and that's why she's
just gone. Yeah, the grandmother's just gone.
She's just gone, and then we see the cigarette go out, and she's in the exact same position, and there's no air coming from her lungs to puff on the cigarette. She's just dead. She just died. And I think the reason, I think what, like you mentioned the meaning, and I agree with that 100%. I think what's like literally going on in the world is that God chose Henry. He chose Henry because Henry's trying. He's at least trying to cultivate life, and...
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and God chose him. And the God of this world is not doing well. He is decaying, he is dying. He is worse off. He's probably where the giant would have been if they didn't beat Bob after a long enough period of time,
Goodness is fading. Yeah,
goodness is fading from the world. And so, similar to what the giant did with Laura, he sends down a child. He sends down, he blesses this birth, makes it immaculate, and creates what is going to be a test. It's a test for Henry. Is Henry willing to struggle and suffer and sacrifice himself in order to cultivate life? It's a test. And the lady in the radiator, I don't want to say she's Satan. She may not even be a real entity. Like, I think she might just be in Henry's head. I think it might be as simple as looking inside
his imagination, because he's just staring at the radiator when he does that. Because if you look at his room, he has like nothing to like stimulate him in the slightest. There's like the tree's dead. He's got like a picture of a nuclear bomb, which I don't think you'd want to look at. And if you look at the window, there's like brick walls. There's like nothing.
That same
just
picture
there is nothing,
right? I'm gonna say something funny about that picture I noticed here in a bit. But yeah, that same fucking picture of the nukes in Eraserhead. Why does he have that picture? Well, probably because David Lynch came over to his house and said, "Hey, put this on your wall." Now
I need something to stimulate me. He's like, "I got a picture of a nuke I can give you."
Okay, thank you, shady photo salesman, David Lynch. But yeah, I think he's just looking now. Okay, so either he's looking in the radiator and it looks like a stage, and so he's imagining this little woman. And this is the grossest portrayal of semen I have ever seen in a movie.
Yeah,
like one, it spills out of the chickens. That's one thing. Two, when he tries to hold Mary, he keeps trying to like grab at her, but he keeps grabbing sperm cells. Like giant, weird, mutated sperm cells, and throwing them against the wall. because he's just like, I want to hold you, but all I can think about is how I have tainted you, how I have corrupted you with my seed, you know? And he wants to hold her so bad, but that's just a thing he can't do because of the guilt he feels, you know? I think that right there is like symbolic, or that's very symbolic. I don't think there's actual snakes trying to crawl into her. I think he's literally just trying to hold this woman, but all he can think about is how he tainted her and ruined her life. The lady in the radiator. I don't know why her face is like that. I've been thinking.
I don't know either.
Is it because she's radiated? Is that
Maybe
she might be?
I mean that, or like she's deformed like a child, or you know
that too. Oh, that too. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
because I looked at her and I'm like, is that what the child's gonna be? When my first thought was like, is that what it's gonna grow into? Because if so, that's a fucking upgrade. Like, oh, you just got a little bit of a puffy face. Okay, that's magnificent. You grew legs.
and you live in a radiator. My God, the prospects are amazing for this child.
Really moved up in the world. But no, I think she's either she is a symbol of temptation. She is what he could be. She's trying to dance, but all these big ugly sperm are on the stage and she can't dance around them. And then she just starts squishing them. And then she can dance just fine as long as she's willing to kill the children and do what she wants to do without caring. She's great. She's happy, and Henry can be happy too, as long as he's selfish and does what he wants to do. In heaven, everything is fine. And that's what she's there to do.
I get that. It's almost like the temptation of like him going, I could just leave this and just like abandon this child and like all of the all of the damage I've caused, Mary's family by having this kid.
I can just free myself of it by not caring anymore.
And or killing himself,
or kill himself, or her, or the baby. But so the Eraserhead scene itself, he begins. So I like it when he first sees the kid. He smiles. He's kind of scared, but he smiles at it and he tries to take care of it. When he gets sick, he's like, "Oh, you are sick." Like, he wants to care for the baby, and it's the loneliness and the outside pressure that gets to him. It's not the kid. I think he genuinely cares for it.
But he ends up alone and he can't leave. Like when the child gets sick, the child's in such a bad state that he can't leave, so he can't go anywhere. He can't he starts like imagining having an affair with the lady next door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he has like nothing.
Exactly.
He has nothing to do.
Now, I don't know if he actually banged her or not. I like to think she liked him and came over, but when she saw the child, it kind of tainted that relationship going forward. Let's talk about the Eraserhead thing. My favorite scene in the whole movie, that whole sequence. Basically, he is, on the stage, he's thinking, he's hallucinating or whatever, he's dreaming. And he imagines the child, he sees the tree, and the tree is so much, like, he starts to see the life that he's caring for as, like, parasites that are trying to kill him. Like, the thing he's feeding in the wall, like, attacks him. And, or, like, scares him, at least. The tree, he looks at the tree, and it's grown so much bigger than him. He's dwarfed by its size. It's now an object of fear. And then his child bursts out of his body like a fucking necromorph from Dead Space. Yeah. Pops his head right off. And it's the idea that, like, this kid's gonna kill you. Caring for this child will kill you. It'll take your life and it'll end you. And there won't be anything left of you except for what other people can use you to do. And so he falls into the street. A kid and a homeless man argue over his head. The kid takes the head to Paul.
The pencil factory.
I love that scene. So okay, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I have the clip right here, actually. Oh man,
let's give it a watch. I love this one.
It's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Green peanuts.
Oh man, just cracks me up. But yeah, they take the head into the back, they drill a hole in it, and they make erasers out of his fucking skull. Which okay, this may be something he. So this could be like I've thought about this scene in so many different ways. One, this is all his dream. None of this actually exists. There is no pencil factory that makes erasers out of people's heads. But it's a metaphor for.
That does seem like something your subconscious would come up with. Eraserhead, Eraserhead.
Ah, yeah, absolutely. But like, I get the vibe that this is all just like, this is the idea of this is what's going to be left of him. Similar to the dad, all he can think about is what he did in the past and how basically none of his actions, there's no honor, there's no glory to anything he did. Everything that he is or was will be used by other people for their own end, selfishly. Like the dad getting upset about the pipes. And so like, I think that's what the metaphor is most likely. However, I also like to think that we're just out of rubber trees, so we have to use human skulls to make erasers. Like somehow in this world they can do that, and that's just the method of making erasers for pencils.
I love how you've sort of seen beyond what like the film is showing you, and you try and imagine what the world is like based on what you've seen. Because I didn't like think about the world. I just thought that this is just a really like messed up
Place to live, yeah, like it's
place to live.
Uh-huh.
That David Lynch was inspired by Philadelphia.
It just feels
that makes sense.
It just
It's
feels
like
so
an industry
apocalyptic.
area, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It does. Now you mention it, it does feel like it's something out of Mad Max, or like the Pit from Fallout.
Yeah, like just where are these, like thinking about where resources come from. Just the thing about the chickens, I was like, wait, what? That was the thing that got me going. Like, okay, we got synthetic meat like Cyberpunk. Okay, what the fuck? Like, just thinking about all this has been like, it's been my favorite part of just thinking about it. But yeah, the movie. I feel like after this, the main thrust of the story is kind of over and done with, and then we have like the closing action with the affair, and then he looks out the door at her, and she looks back at him, and he sees her just hooking up with this just creepy looking guy, just this creepy drunk looking motherfucker, and she looks back at him, and all she can see is the fetus. That's all she can see is the baby. And that's kind of his breaking point, where he basically he rejects God. And you can see God at the end of the movie. He's yanking the lever. There's sparks flying out of the plugs. He's trying to stop him. And we don't even know that's what he's going to do yet. We don't even know if he's going to do that yet. We just see God doing that, and it's like, okay, what do you know that we don't? And Henry looks out the window, and now this one I've only seen the movie once. I don't recall exactly what he sees, but I think he sees his own dead body. And I think that's kind of him looking out upon his future, the idea that if he doesn't do this, this is how he's going to end up. He knows that this child in this world will kill him unless he decides to be cruel and decides to be selfish. And so he goes over, cuts open the wrapping to get a good look at the baby, and then upon seeing that he's basically already killed it, he puts it out of its misery with the scissors. And then the guilt just... like that, the head detaching and swelling, I think that's just guilt.
It's guilt.
That's just the self-loathing he feels at that moment for what he's done. Just the self-hatred. And then Radiator Girl with the fucking puffy face comes over and comforts him and goes, hey, you don't gotta care anymore. You're like me. And then that's how the movie ends, is that him kind of not celebrating, but like just accepting that he doesn't have to care about cultivating life anymore. He's just going to take what's his, and the idea, I guess, is that he just becomes nothing. He becomes an evil person. He decides to side with evil, and as we know, it's not going to go well for him. He's probably going to end up like those parents who, in forcing themselves to be something they're not, they basically decay over time. He's going to end up just like his in-laws. Great movie.
Bad end. Great movie.
Very sad ending. Very different from everything else Lynch I've seen. Everything else Lynch I've seen has had this undercurrent of positivity to it.
This film, I think, is like his first. Because I mean, even if you watch like The Grandmother beforehand, that's also kind of it ends in like a hopeful note. But like, yeah, this one doesn't have like a hopeful note to it. And there's very little in it to like give you hope or give you positivity. I mean, everything that sort of you laugh at or is like played for laughs is just unsettling or weird, or like over the top. It's not like light-hearted or anything. It's like uncomfortable. Like you laugh uncomfortably because it is so over the top in how uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you know,
after
characters are put in, like the scenario they're put in. Yeah.
I'm watching this after Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart. Both movies were very uplifting in their own way, and this one is just, oh my god, it's misery. But I also liked it. I found it funny, like you said. I wouldn't call it a nightmare. Honestly, it's dreamy, but dreams play such a small part in the movie. Because like, you know the things, the moment someone starts talking about a dream in a David Lynch film, you fucking listen. And you listen closely. Because whatever they're saying will be the key to understanding the rest of the movie, typically.
This is more of like how the world is perceived by Henry.
Absolutely.
And what's going on in his head is what the film shows you, basically. Yeah.
It's far closer to something like Jacob's Ladder or The Shining in that way. Like, just it's a lot more. I don't want to say literal, but like not as dreamy. It's his perception. It's what's going on in his head.
I think this is also before David Lynch got into transcendental meditation as well. This was he made this during a time where he lived in Philadelphia, and he just found it to be like such a horrible, oppressive, corrupt, and like scary place.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
I think that rubbed off on him, and he was like, I need to like, I need to make a film that sort of represents how I feel, and and he was also having a child at the same time. So I think he had a lot of darkness in him at the time when he made Eraserhead.
So I watched an interview with him that was some like NPR station was doing. And he basically talks about all that. Yeah. Are you familiar with the "Whoa, cool robot" meme?
No.
Okay. Basically, it's a meme.
Show me.
Okay, let me show you. It's a just look at the screen capture.
Okay.
And don't mind my bookmarks.
No, we'll edit them into smiley faces. Happy.com.
It's like 5 porn sites there. Shit's crazy. All right, wow, cool robot. So, basically, it's a meme about Gundam, meant to like kind of poke fun at the.
Oh, David Lynch made a Gundam now, did he?
Wow, cool. Okay. So I'm trying to find it because
he made Evangelion, you say?
The problem is I'm having a hard time finding the actual
original, right? Originally?
Yeah. Okay. So this right here, this is the one. Basically, here it is. It's because the ink was. It's a wow, cool robot, and then it goes over his head, and it's like war is bad. Yeah. War is bad.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, that's funny as hell. Wow, cool warning shots as he's getting shot in the face. But I saw one about Cyberpunk. There's one about Cyberpunk and one about Fallout that were the same one. And it was, wow, the exploitation of the working class and capitalism has really caused the world to decay and become apocalyptic. And then over his head it just says, it sucks to live in California.
Yeah. Missing the point.
This is, and I feel like this is me right now. I'm going like, I have this huge text about like the Messiah, about God, about the relationship between God and humanity, with humanity and their own children, and the thing going over my head is just, it sucks to live in Philadelphia. It's what I feel like. David Lynch is firing that, and it's just going right over my head. Because I thought about all that, and I'm like, yeah, I figured it out, and then I watched his interview, and I'm like, so it was just about how much it sucks to be a single father living in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
It's fun to dream. That's a quote that's been coming to mind lately. I think that's from the Boondocks. But it's fun to dream. Sometimes it's fun to dream. So now about the Elephant Man. If you would have told me that was a David Lynch directed movie that takes place during and around the Industrial Revolution, starring Anthony Hopkins, I would have watched it right away.
Yes.
That film is fucking amazing. Like that is such a good movie. Oh my god. I mean I don't even like there's not even that much to talk about other than it's the story of John Merrick. His prosthetic and his acting is amazing. Like just some of the best acting I've ever seen. The treatment of him. There's this weird
John Hurt
is amazing. Yeah, I only know him from like Warhammer stuff. So it was crazy to see him in like a movie. You know, he was amazing. The only scene I had ever seen.
There he is! Literally, there he is in the Elephant Man.
Yeah,
top right corner. Yeah.
He's phenomenal in that. Yeah. But
he plays John Merrick perfectly.
God, just wonderful. The only scene I'd ever seen from that movie was him being cornered in the subway. Like, I am not an elephant! Let me pull that up.
I am a human being.
I am not a merry man. That was the first suggested one from Star Trek.
Yeah. I am a Klingon warrior.
I am not an elephant. I am not an animal. I am a human being.
He like speaks in a low mutter throughout the whole movie because it seems like physically painful for him to talk. Because it probably was, yeah. And so hearing him raise his voice is like, it hits so hard. Even in scenes where he's being beaten and like hurt, or
he wheezes every time he breathes as well.
Like, yeah, the act of living is physically painful for this man, and yet in this movie he lives this. Well, I mean, a horrible life at points, but he has this short but blessed existence, and that's given to him by Anthony Hopkins and the people who work at the hospital. And he actually like improves the lives and the outlooks of the people he associates with. Like, everyone at the hospital except for the headmaster is like exceptionally not cruel, but like they're very much like strict, you know.
Yeah. They're very much like, what do we get out of this?
Yeah, what do we get out of this? Is there a way to help him? If not, what is he doing here? Why is he wasting? Why are we wasting time on a lost cause?
Why are we wasting resources on this guy? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the headmaster is my favorite character. Like, the guy who owns the hospital is the fucking best because he sees through everyone's bullshit, like, all the time. Like the scene where he goes to bring the oatmeal up to John. And he Anthony Hopkins goes to bring up the oatmeal to John, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be." It's like, "Oh, this is just my lunch," and it's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be eating oatmeal. Here, come into my office," and just immediately sees through his lie. That one asshole at the board meeting, he lets him speak. He lets him have his word. He lets him turn the entire room against.
Embarrass himself.
Yeah, he just lets him talk. Lets him embarrass himself, and he's like, "All right, well, here's the Queen of Wales. She's
the Princess of Wales. Yeah,
she's coming." She's coming
to the throne's wife.
She wants to talk about John, and she's very grateful to all of you for taking care of him. Oh man, and just there's this. There's so many cool little details in the movie. It's still.
You start seeing that proto like level of just like kindness and like bringing good into the world. Create just. Like this lovely David Lynch heartfulness.
Yes,
it's just like bring hope and kindness into his movies. Even though Eraserhead is like incredibly like bleak and disgusting and hard to watch. This like warms your heart like the entire film.
It's like watching Grave of the Fireflies and My Neighbor Totoro back to back. It's just you have like I wish I watched Elephant Man right afterwards. I would have healed. It feels like healing. Eraserhead was fucking upsetting when I first watched that shit. I mean, I handled it way better than Vea did, and then Vea told her grandma about it, and then I tried to explain what was going on to her grandma, and it just made her more upset. So, just ruining lives with Eraserhead. But the Elephant Man was fantastic. There's all these little details I love. Like like you can feel the pollution of the industry just on everything. Like
there's a smog everywhere.
It's very historically accurate. My favorite part is when Anthony Hopkins is just walking through the street and he looks at this device that kids are like loading something into, and he just stares at it for a minute, and I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck is that thing? I don't know what it is, and I don't think Anthony Hopkins knows either. I think that's why he stopped to look at it, because but there's so many awesome little details, like the guy who runs the freak show. His cane is an ivory cane. He has an ivory cane because he's cruel. He exploits animals and people for his own gain, and it's the elephant connection as well, because
he stole the ivory from the Elephant Man.
Took his ivory. Oh no, just the ivory trade.
Ivory!
He's doing it all for the ivory. The ivory trade is something that is just it's horrible. It's horrible to animals. It's horrible to people. It is one of the cruelest industries to have ever existed. You want to know more about that? Read Heart of Darkness. Very good book. Just his whole thing, like him, like his veiled threats. He's constantly like trying to threaten Anthony Hopkins. But he's always like pulling him close and like trying to manhandle him. But he's saying like very nice words like, "I know people, powerful people. I can help you. I can get you whatever you want. And it's these veiled threats that just have no effect on him at all, which I think is wonderful.
He's just Anthony Hopkins. Oh, very nice. Anyway.
Yeah. I wish I knew the doctor's name. I keep forgetting. I have forgotten. I don't remember his name at all. He's just Anthony Hopkins to me. I guess that's the difference, is that I forgot the name of the actor that plays John Merrick, even though I know his
Frederick
name.
Traves.
Okay. Wait, I thought it was John Hurt who played Merrick.
No, I said Frederick Traves. That's the name of the doctor.
Oh,
so Frederick Traves. Yeah.
Okay, so Frederick Traves. Okay, so Frederick.
John Merrick is the Elephant Man.
One of the things that gets pointed out that I think is fascinating, at one point in the movie, is after John gets his room. He's officially a resident of the hospital. He's living there. He's having guests over. It gets pointed out to Traves that he's basically still running a freak show. And that pretty much he's still exploiting Merrick for his own gain. Yeah, and it just
with like a richer clientele.
Yes, and it's like tormenting him. He feels so terrible because he genuinely doesn't want to do that, but he feels like he is. And that scene with him talking to his wife is just heartbreaking. But John is just so grateful. Like John, I don't think John doesn't understand. He's a smart man. He very much understands that there's an undercurrent of exploitation going on with this. However, it is the happiest he has been in his entire life. He's a gentleman. He's such a charming, wonderful guy.
And he's lovely to all the people that visit him, even the ones that are like, man, this guy's a freak. He's just like nice and courteous and kind.
Yeah, that woman like freaking out and having trouble looking at him is like, is there something wrong with the tea? What could possibly be wrong? The end with the fucking stage show where seemingly
that's beautiful,
and just Traves looking heartbroken and terrified and sad because he knows that Merrick's not going to live much longer, and him deciding at the end that the way he wants to go is sleeping with like a normal person, sleeping on his back. which kills him. Just beautiful film. That one's not a lot of. It didn't get dreamy until the very end, but for the most part, it's a very literal biopic.
Yeah.
Very good.
Crazy how it happened.
Yeah, like this actually all happened. That's awesome. What a great story.
No, like the fact that David Lynch even got.
Oh yeah, tell that story. It's a wonderful one.
So they were considering who to make the director for The Elephant Man, and they had a bunch of directors in mind, but one of the I forget who it was, but someone spoke to Mel Brooks, because Mel Brooks was connected to the film itself. Mm-hmm. And they were like, maybe you should try like this David Lynch guy. Have you seen Eraserhead? He's like, I don't know what Eraserhead is, but he's like, oh, give it a watch. He watched Eraserhead, and then he approached David Lynch, and they were like, oh, David, Mel Brooks has seen Eraserhead, like when they were interviewing him for to be the director. We showed him Eraserhead, and like David Lynch was like, "Oh no, oh god!"
Oh no.
He's like really anxious because he's like, "They're not gonna hire me. This like my film is too surreal for like this, The Elephant Man." And Mel Brooks just comes in, and goes, "You are a madman. I want you to do it."
I love that story. I didn't know about him going, oh no. That's fucking hilarious.
David Lynch was terrified. He was like, oh god, I haven't got it, have I?
It's the opposite.
That would have killed it. He thought that would have killed his chance at getting a chance to
it's the
direct.
The opposite of him calling his producer after talking to George Lucas, like, please don't make me do it. Please. Please don't make me direct Return of the Jedi. I don't want to.
He showed me a thing called a Wookiee.
And then my head started to hurt.
And then I got the worst migraine. It says something when like David Lynch, who's like commonly known as being unusual and weird, finds George Lucas weird, like stranger than him.
Oh, it's wonderful.
That is mad.
Yeah. Oh man, what's next? Lost Highway, I think, is next. That's what I plan on watching.
Oh, you're going
next.
to love Lost Highway.
And then I want to watch
Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive are my two favorite films. I got them on Blu-ray after I watched both of them.
Oh.
I love these films.
I gotta watch those two next then, because
Yeah,
I've heard both of those that those are I've heard those movies referred to as impenetrable. I think I'm prepared though.
Don't worry about it. These films are great. Just sit down, watch them, let your mind do the work.
Okay, because that's
it's like looking at a painting, and my God, Mel Brooks is old. He's 98 and he's still alive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Hope he don't.
He's gonna be. Oh my God, he's gonna be 99 this month.
Good for him.
Yeah, I hope he lives to 100.
I mean, he hasn't really made much of anything in a while.
Well, he's 90.
I was talking to someone about that yesterday. A friend of mine. I was talking about how everyone's favorite actors nowadays are everyone's favorite actors from like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And how like actors just don't retire anymore. And I guess it's kind of heartwarming when I hear like, oh, why isn't he in movies anymore? Oh, he retired. Oh, good. That's what he probably should do, rather than Martin Scorsese fucking actively thinking. Every movie he makes now, he makes with the knowledge that he's probably going to die while making it. Like when he made Killers of the Flower Moon, he was like, all right, well, I only have a few movies left in me. I need to make them about things that are really important. So when he made that movie, he was like, all right, if I die during this, I want this to be my good last one, you know? He doesn't want to go out like Raul Julia being in Street Fighter. Oh, man. That's cool, though.
He wants to go out like Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver. If I found out that that's how, like, that's how Martin Scorsese went out, I would fucking die with laughter. It's like he just went into like some pimp den, just shot up the place.
He goes into the next Marvel movie. He goes into the newest Marvel movie and just shoots up the place. It's not cinema. Yeah, Mel Brooks is a treasure. I love that guy. Very funny movies.
I still need to watch Blazing Saddles. I haven't
Oh wow, it's my favorite one. It's the. I feel like it's the most normal out of all the movies. Like, I guess it's because it's his oldest one, unless Young Frankenstein
came out same year.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles are like, you just forget their comedies for most of the time until just someone says the most outlandish shit. It's like watching Doctor Strangelove or Airplane, where it's just this really dry comedy, you know?
Yes.
Very good.
I also need to watch The Producers. I've seen the remake with
I've never seen this.
What's his name? The Producers remake.
What
cast.
the fuck?
Matthew Broderick, who murdered someone in Ireland and got away with it.
No. What the fuck? The Asian wiki.
The Korean producers.
Oh no.
Springtime for Hideki Chojo.
I guess I need to see this too. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Hell yeah. I saw. Is that Will? No, that's the what?
Yeah. That's Will Ferrell.
Oh, it's the new one. Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
We need a man-child in our film called Will Ferrell.
I do like Will Ferrell.
I used to like Will Ferrell, but he's now typecast as a man-child, and he just plays man-children.
So it's like Steve Martin or Adam Sandler.
He's got very stale. Sorry, that's my rant about.
The most lukewarm take of I don't like watching him on the screen.
I don't like Will Ferrell. It's just I'm bored of him because like every time I see Will Ferrell, I'm like, oh, he's gonna play Elf again, isn't he?
He's gonna play Buddy. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then he just plays a man-child, and yeah.
That was the last thing I
Very
saw
boring.
him in. I think the last thing I saw him in was Lego Movie. Love that movie.
And does he play a man-child in it?
Kinda. Kinda, yeah. He's basically a dad who's like, no, don't touch my Legos, child. These are for grown-ups. These are not
Literally,
for. Oh my god.
We need a dad to be a man-child in our Lego film.
This is
over
just
Legos. Call Will Ferrell.
What is like? There's a phrase I've been thinking of lately, like basically where someone will tell me trivia about a movie or just a way of looking at the movie that just ruins a movie for me. Like I had it happen to me with Titanic recently. I think I've talked to you about this. But
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
An old woman can't leave an affair she had when she was in her 20s with some guy, and then tells her entire family how he fucked her good.
In a car.
In a car, and then drowned.
Yeah, it's like, it's so
Wonderful.
Just ruined the movie for me. It just completely destroyed the film. It bummed me out. Someone pointed that. Okay, so here's one that I had pointed out to me recently. This has nothing to do with Eraserhead or anything. But okay, so in The Godfather, The Godfather is a lot like Star Wars, where it acted as a launching off point for a bunch of young actors' careers. So like you had like Marlon Brando and a bunch of older actors passing the torch to younger actors like Robert De Niro or what the hell was his name? Al Pacino, Dunkachino. You know, like passing the torch to these younger actors. And so like in the second movie, the titular Godfather is played by Al Pacino. The flashback of Marlon Brando's character when he's young is played by a young Robert De Niro. And it's just really cool how this old mob movie existed as a way to introduce a new generation of actors to people, similar to how Star Wars did with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and a bunch of younger people. Recently, there's a great movie that came out, and I think you're familiar with it too, The Irishman, one of my favorite movies.
Yes. The Irishman.
In this movie, we have a lot of these young actors who were introduced by, several of these young actors who were introduced by The Godfather are now old men. And now they get to have the opportunity to pass the torch as well by having a young Robert De Niro be played by Robert De Niro with a CG face, or a young Joe Pesci played by Joe Pesci with the CG face.
It was really weird them putting the faces on those babies, though. That was kind of messed up. I don't want to see a Joe Pesci baby.
Baby G, like there's movies that did that. I don't remember which ones, but oh good lord, Junior? Was it Junior?
No, it wasn't Junior. No, it's one of those Wayans brothers films.
Okay, but it kind of hurt. I'm like, damn, that's true. They could have passed the torch, but instead they just used the same actors and.
What's Junior? Yeah, because the Mama one with Arnold Schwarzenegger face. Mama.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone I just
beautiful baby Arnie.
I had a video point that out to me, and it just like I still love that movie, and I still love the book it's based off of, but it did hurt. It did hurt a bit. But yeah, Eraserhead, Elephant Man, great movies. Watch them probably in close proximity to each other because they're good.
You need to after watching Eraserhead. You need something to cleanse the palate.
Right.